everyone. So we are Cat Comrades. Before we start our presentation, I would just like to let everyone know Alachua County Humane Services, Alachua County Animal Services, sorry, are going to be doing free microchipping for any cat or dog, no limit until they run out, from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. this Friday, April 25th at Animal Services. I just found this out while I was walking to class today. Just want to let everyone know since we do care about our animals. So, show of hands, how many of you adopted or considered adopting a pet while in college? All right, and before adopting, keep your hands up. How many of you consider the cost and money that would take for food, vets, toys, that kind of stuff? Good, lots of hands still raised. How many of you consider the time commitment that it would cost you for playing with your pet, that kind of stuff? All right, very responsible. And how many of you had a backup plan in place before you adopted your pet if for any reason you couldn't take care of it in the future? All right, well, it looks like you guys are better pet owners than me because I had none of this in mind when I adopted my cat Miranda. In fact, I actively disobeyed my father, who told me specifically not to adopt a pet while still in college. I lied to him for 6 months, telling him that it was my roommate's cat, until he saw the vet bill on my bank statement and figured it out for himself. So he didn't make me give her up, although he very well could have, because he's a sucker for cats too, and I mean, just look at her little face. I was lucky. Miranda was lucky. I got to keep my best friend, and she got to keep her home. Many cats in Gainesville aren't so lucky. There are tons of students who adopt pets without realizing the time and effort that it takes to put into them, and they end up trying to give them away or sell them on Facebook. For many people who can't find a way to get rid of their cat, they just end up abandoning it and letting it go. But why is cat abandonment such a big issue in Gainesville? Well, Gainesville already has a huge stray and feral cat population. A large stray cat population can disrupt the local environment by decimating bird populations and spreading diseases within the community, even to outdoor dwelling pet cats. The Humane Society estimates that with just 2 cats and 3 kittens, over 7 years can produce 400,000 new cats. What? And so when people release their pets into the wild, especially if those pets haven't been spayed or neutered, that just increases the pet population more and more. And stray cats can cause problems within the human community in Gainesville too. One 8-year-old girl was bit and scratched by a stray cat, and she now awaits finding out if she has to take a series of painful rabies shots. And there was one man who was actually jailed for feeding stray cats. Now, there are certain rules and ordinances in place to not feed stray cats, and they are there for a reason. And the fact of the matter is he only went to jail after refusing to do community service and not paying his fine. But it stands that if there wasn't a stray cat population, he wouldn't have been feeding it, and he would not have been put in jail. So, Cat Comrades was formed to help end pet abandonment by inspiring responsible pet ownership.
We decided that our first step needed to be some type of event that would help us amass a substantial Facebook and Twitter following so we could disseminate our information on how to be a responsible pet owner. And what better way than giving people free cookies? So we held a fake sale in the Plaza of the Americas where we offered a free cookie in exchange for a like or follow on Facebook or Twitter. We originally tried to get local bakeries to donate cookies for our cause, but it proved unsuccessful, and we had to last minute innovate and bake our own cookies the night before. What was a disadvantage actually worked in our favor because we were able to customize the cookies with our logo and other things that would make that were cuter and it started more conversations. It was a conversation starter at our table, like I just said, and our main goal in the event was to gather a Facebook and Twitter following, but what we didn't expect was the amount of people that would actually stick around and engage with us at the table. Rather than just merely grabbing a cookie and leaving, they were inspired by our campaign and stayed around to talk to us and share their own stories. We were even more surprised when one girl immediately went home and designed a logo just for us to say that she was so inspired by the campaign she wanted to do something to help out. She even posted it on her Facebook page, further perpetuating how many people we reached through this event. And you don't have to take my, and why was this event so successful? Ada, go ahead and look under your seat.
Cookie?
Got a cookie, see how happy?
That's right, you get a cookie. You get a cookie. Everyone gets a cookie! It's Oprah's favorite thing!
Yes. Got you.
Every time you try? Yes.
Now see, yep. Now see how happy just merely getting a free cookie makes you? You're more likely to stick around, have a conversation with me, you like me a little bit better. That's exactly what we experienced at our table. We were giving away something for free. It was a campaign that most people can agree about who doesn't like cats, and we were able to have engaging conversations and got more of the event than we expected. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can see this graph shows that we got a 100% increase in Facebook likes through the event, and that doesn't even count that for every like, that our page would show up on that person's timeline, and all their friends would see our page. So it's really, we reached way more people than we could possibly expect it.
So, after the great success of our fake sale, we figured, what other kind of event could we do that's similar, yet different? Something that can repeat the same kind of success we have with this cookie day. And then we thought about what could we do on the plaza on campus that allow us to attract people to our cause and help spread the message about who we are and what we stand for. And then we got the idea, Cat Day, our first big failure. And that's pretty much what I'll be telling you about what went wrong here. So with the cookie event, what we just wanted to do was get people online and interacting with our social media. However, with Cat Day, we just wanted to engage with our audience on campus, try to get them emotionally invested in our cause. So the plan was really simple. We just wanted to take Riley's cat, Kitchen, onto campus, have her on a leash to lure people in for some one-on-one chit-chat. So once we've gotten them in, we talked to them about things such as owning a cat, how to be a more responsible pet owner in general, and of course also informed them about the feral cat population and what they could do as an individual to help reduce this problem. Now, it was a pretty good idea when we thought of it. It's something that's simple, it's inexpensive, probably also really efficient, and something that could be easily replicated onto any campus in America if we were to spread. And who wouldn't want to come over and talk to us with a cute, cuddly cat like that? However, there was just one problem we did not anticipate. And although Kitchen is a really chill cat when around people, once she was brought out there, she was not so chill anymore.
I have never seen my cat so stressed out.
That was a bit of a problem. Then we had a tough decision to make. We had two choices. We either go with option A, we could continue on with the event with a cat that's clearly uncomfortable about everything, or we could do option B, pack up our stuff, get Kitchen back home where she can relax and not get anything done. We had to go with option B. Even if we really wanted to do this event and engage with our public, doing it at the expense of a cat would pretty much go against everything we stand for. But we did learn something from this, and that is, it's okay to fail. Because if you want to achieve anything in regards to anything at all, you're probably going to end up failing at least once. Probably more often than not in your way to success. And that's the thing we got to remember. Each subsequent failure is just another small step towards success and actually making a difference like we did with our other events.
So now I'm going to talk to you about our second major success, which was in creating and then distributing some informative materials around campus. Close to the start of term, we put together an infographic that contains like a series of steps that anyone can follow to be a more responsible pet owner. And our goal in putting this together was to create like a plan of action that would inspire people to think more responsibly about pet ownership in general. It would serve as like a blueprint for successful adoption, and then provide people that are considering abandonment with some alternatives to just letting their cat loose. So basically this was our agenda. If you're considering adoption, you want to make sure that your cat has a godfather, somebody that can take your pet in case you can no longer care for it. And step 2 is to evaluate how much money you can actually commit to this. It's actually fairly expensive. You got food, you got litter, toys, veterinary care, and then you even have to factor in the cost of replacing furniture whenever what used to be your couch becomes a makeshift scratching post.
This is my actual couch, folks.
Yeah, it's direct, as you can see. So then step 3, you got to evaluate your free time. Cats require a lot of playtime, and if you leave them alone too much, you're going to replace your couches more often. And last, you got to make sure that your apartment is pet friendly. I mean, that means more than just rules. It means making it okay with your roommates too. So we felt this was a great way to prevent people that really shouldn't get a cat from getting one in the first place. But if you already got a cat, you're considering abandonment. Well, if you don't have a godfather lined up, then you need to check with friends, family, local
Foster homes.
foster homes to see if any of them can take your pet in. Or as a last resort, you can try a no-kill shelter. But you got to understand that these places can't house animals indefinitely. Eventually, they're going to transfer them somewhere else, and they're probably going to be put down, which is kind of bleak. But despite this outlook, it's still better than just outright abandoning them, because domesticated cats are completely dependent on people for their survival. They've got no understanding of the wild or the perils of cars or predators. Any cat that gets abandoned is going to have its lifespan significantly reduced. So this was our agenda. This is what we wanted to push. And thanks to our fake sale, we had a pretty robust social media following. So it was easy to get this out online, but we felt that wasn't sufficient. We knew that we wanted to address our public more directly and get more involved in the actual Gainesville area. So to that end, we decided to go flyering. And what better place to go flyer than at local pet-friendly apartment complexes. These places have got the highest density of U.S. students that own cats, and they're basically ground zero for abandonment. So Scott and I spent a day traveling about Gainesville, and we hit up the apartments south of campus, and Riley and Alex hit the ones north of campus. And when we got there, and we explained who we were, what we stood for, what we're trying to accomplish, our reception was very warm. The staff and the managers there were really keen on what we were doing, and were keen on getting involved as well, mostly because they had some first-hand experience with this in their own lives. It's a pretty significant issue. One guy even told us how, at the end of each term, his complex ends up just covered in stray cats from all the people that just leave them behind when they graduate or move to other apartments. They just get them all over the place. So clearly it was relevant to their lives. Now, originally when we went there, we were intending to just go door to door and just hand stuff out, but it turns out that was against the rules. Amphenor, we couldn't do that, but it actually worked out for the better because the people there were so enthusiastic that they offered to distribute our materials for us. So, thanks to their help, we're going to have our infographic plastered across the message boards of apartment complexes all around the UF area, and they'll have helped spread positive buzz about cat comrades and what we're trying to accomplish. So, with any luck, we'll have already saved a few cats from abandonment, and that's a great thing.
Cat Comrades sought out a unique problem in their community and to solve it with small, inexpensive, yet effective steps.
Even if we only save 2 or 3 cats today, 7 years down the line, that's 400,000 cats off the streets of Gainesville.
What we've demonstrated is that anybody, no matter how limited your resources, can make a difference in your local community. All you really need is passion.
Our passion was to save cats. Your cats might be ending gender equality, bringing awareness to suicide, or ending rape culture. No matter your cause, you can be a catalyst for change.
Now go out there and save your cats!
Very good. Awesome.
Good job, guys.